What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. This is Fortan Zimbu. This is only for education purpose. I'm gonna be speaking about a lot of things concerned the European Negro, African Negro, American Negro. The entire black race. Wherever you're living, can be in Australia, America, the Middle East, uh, Africa, every single black people where we are. So this is more about the future, the present, the past. So we need to know where we came from, the past and the present. The future is the generation that is gonna come after what we leave for them. It's about the legacy, it's about education. What are we leaving for our children? Concern parents, how education is happening at home. What can we solve for our young people, for ourselves, more like it, for the young people that are coming up, for the education, what are we giving to them, Because life is not easy for any young people. Even when I was growing up, I can see life it never was easy for any of us growing up. I am talking to parents right now, parents and children. It helps when a parent is thinking about his own child, is about his own children. As you parents, what legacy are you leaving your children? Statistics speaking, there's a lot of single parents in black culture, especially in the diaspora. You go to America, you go to Europe, and there's a lot of single mother. But what are you leaving for your children? What legacy do you see your children having? Because we have a lot of problem. I call it trauma. Black people, we have a lot of trauma, but we don't like to admit that. We have problem in our society. Let's push the white people aside, but us in general as black people. Because if you are trying to bring white people in this equation of us, because I will bring out about white people, it's about to see, to compare the way we live as lives, compared to black parents. I'm not saying the whole black, we are terrible parents, not all of us, but if we are start going individual, that's not good. But I need to pull us all together systematically speaking, all of us together. I know how it is growing up in my household with my father, seeing how we growing up, all of us. Education is very important. How you are, parents, how you are with your children. You need to know how to teach them how to live lives, It start at home. How your children, they should connect themselves around other respect. Because one thing I learned from my auntie when I was growing up is respect. One thing she taught me, because I never grew up with my mother. My auntie, she taught me respect. She did push us about education, but she wasn't really there to give me education for school. Even in my father, to give me education for school, it was more like just go to school, come back, and church. God is something that God needs to be in our life first. God, and the rest come after. That I don't deny that God is first. But education is such an important thing in our lives. It's an important part of our lives. We need to understand the problem we have with black people is we tend to forget the past. We tend to wipe out the past. We tend to forget about it, and we don't want to teach our children the past. We don't even teach our kids the future, what is ahead. Even in the present, we limit ourselves in the present. Okay, when you limit yourself in the present, okay, that's okay. But teach your children so they know it's not easy for them, because black children, they're going through under pressure, trauma, mental health, stress every day of their lives as they walk outside. They have entire world that is really hate black people. Black parents, you have a lot of work to do. Black parents, you have a lot of work to do in this society. There is a lot of work that we need to do. We need to teach young people to conduct themselves the way they need to behave outside. when they're outside, when they are home, do you sit down with your children, teach them the past, teach them what they need to do at school, how to be like? Because one thing I learned about us black people, I call us we are follower. We like to follow. We like to follow. We like to do we like to do a lot of things in the wrong time, the wrong way. Everything that we like to do. We like to do the wrong thing, the wrong way, and the wrong time. All of that we black people we like to do. They never the right way. Let me just say this. A scientist, when he's learning something, he's trying to understand something, he always have a system next to him or her. They always have a system. So that knowledge that he understand or she understand, you know what, they pass it down to someone. But us black people, we don't do that. We are the only race that we hate ourselves and we don't like to learn or to teach anyone our own race something. We are the only race, but we like to follow. We like to follow other. We are not teaching our children anything. We like to teach our children three things I always said we like to teach our children: music, dancing, acting, and sport. As for music, dancing, acting, and sport. That's what we like to do as black people. We are so good at that. Music, dancing, acting, sport. Music, dancing, acting, sport. That's one thing we teach our children. The disease that we're passing down to our children at home. We're teaching our children how to dance, how to sing. They want to be an actor. And we're pushing them to be in school. But when it comes to give them proper education, we don't give them proper education. You have a young female age of 20 to 30. They're saying, I'm too young to be married. I'm too young. A majority of black female, they say that. Majority of black female. I'm too young to be married. But I asked the young female, what are you doing for your life? Oh, I'm studying, I'm traveling. This is the kind of thing is happening right now. I'm studying and I'm traveling. You're studying, but after the finishing, they still not produce anything good in their lives. Parents, you have failed your children. Black parents, you have failed your children. Number one, you're not leaving your children, not legacy. If you will go to the past, our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents, they left us with nothing. They left us with struggle. Let me just say this what God said at the Bible. The good God said, I visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the third and the fourth generation. Can you hear the third and the fourth generation? Our parents are parents. Do you know what they left us? Pain after pain after pain. Our grandfather, our great grandfather, do you know what they left us? Pain after pain after pain. God said, children, children's children, third and fourth generation. The children upon the father to the children's children's children, to the third and fourth generation. Parents, our parents, their parents, their parents, their parents. Do you know what they left? Pain after pain after pain, struggle after struggle after struggle. So it's a circle going around for black children. It's already hard enough for a young black man and a young black female to walk outside to be in peace. Look, Africa, number one, Africa has failed any black person in the world. Any black person that is in the world, it can be in Europe and America, in Asia, Middle East, anywhere in the world, they don't have no respect because of Africa. They do not have no respect because of African. Any black person that travel, no, when they travel, they go to country like Spain, Italian, they go to Ukraine, Russia, France, England, American. They can go to Colombia, Mexican, whatever country that is not for black people. Argentina, Brazil, you can see the struggle that they receive. The abusement they get. It's really hard to see. We tarnish our children. We don't teach our children the past. What happened to our ancestors, the struggle, the suffer that they went through, the struggle. so we can have the freedom that we can speak and do the same similar things as the white people they do. I always have this thing that I always say: the majority of white race that mistreated us, they really act out of ignorance. They really act out of ignorance. Black people, you need to stop being jacked like a puppet. Black people, you need to stop being jacked like a puppet. And that's who we are. We are like a puppet. We are a follower. And the most diseased thing that we have, we pass it down to our children, our children. We're not creating any visionary or creatively people for the future. We're not. We're creating lazy. We're creating people that reflect us. My father is creating me. He's creating himself. My mother is creating herself to my sister. Just like my grandfather, they create my mother through their own image of being lazy, being not educate properly, and they create the same infected disease to us, and we're doing it to our children. You as a parent, you're doing that to your children. You're living nothing but suffering. I'm gonna be speaking that this is on. I'm not a big words of English. I don't speak big words when it comes to English. I'm gonna be speaking in a basics way so we can try to understand ourselves. I'm gonna be speaking in a basics way so we can create ourselves, we can understand ourselves. I'm not a smart person. I'm gonna be speaking in my own experience. I'm gonna be speaking in my own understanding. I'm gonna be speaking in what I see happening in the world. The abuse against the black, the racism against blacks, the struggle against black, because you as the black person yourself, you know all of this. But I'm just trying to repeat it. The struggle that you're going through, I'm going through. So don't think that I don't understand your struggle. I definitely do understand your struggle because we are all the same. If you think you have a better life than me, you're lying to yourself. You don't have a better life than me. You might think because you know what, you have exciting life, smoking, drinking, partying, traveling. But when it comes to education, we have zero. We are zero. I'm not saying education is all to solve a problem, but my question is, you as a parents, what can we do to solve our problem? What can we do to solve our problem? You, as a black person, what can we do to solve our problem? We always do the wrong thing, the wrong way, or at the wrong time. That's the thing. We do a lot of things in the wrong way, the wrong thing in the wrong time, and never the right time. We're not creating any visionary people. We're not creating no visionary, scientific speaking. There's none. Smart young black people. We're not creating carpenter, builder, lawmaker, because the system that works in America is not for black people. The system that is in the UK is not for black people. The system that is in Australia is not for black people. But we just in there. We're just living in that system with that struggle. We're just living. We're just living. But what system are we bringing? We don't have banks. We don't have a market that we can say, this is our own business. Look at all this market is full of blacks. Business is running through. They have their own bank. We have none. Look, go to the UK, you'll see they have a Chinatown full of Chinese and full of Japanese. But I don't see nothing where it said for black people. Why are young people, young black men, young black female, are struggling to become something greater? You as a parent, you need to start asking yourself this: what can we do to solve this problem? We have a mental health problem. They stress. Our children, they're under pressure. Our children, they're under stress, trauma. They have a lot of trauma. Me, myself, I'm talking to you guys. You guys don't know me. There's a lot of trauma because of what I've been through, what I've been going through, what happened to me at the past, the present. I'm still struggling through all of this, but it don't mean I have to hold myself back so I cannot speak to any of you so you guys can know. You can live your life, but you're still struggling because you're black. Under that skin, you're struggling mentally. You're struggling mentally. Parents, you need to start sitting down with your children, speak to them, trying to understand what is going on in their lives. What are they doing at school, higher education? Because we're living in a time distraction is really easy, and our children are under attack. We was under attack when we was growing. Our parents they was under attack when they was growing. How come why children when they're growing up they're having a better life than most of the majority of black people? If the system it was set up for everyone to live through, why your child can go university and finish is struggling or her they're struggling to get a job that they wanted. A white person can get that job, but yo, black young man and female, they're struggling to get that. Why is that? But they have the same education. Black parents, you have failed your child. Stop mistreating your children because do you know why? You are mistreating your children because you see how horrible you have done to create your child. Your children are exactly like you, and you're struggling to face them in a mirror. We create nothing but bombs after bombs, laziness after laziness, and we're struggling to speak to our children, and we're fine with that. We're fine with that. Young black men, young black female, I definitely know it's not easy. I'm gonna keep saying this. We have a mental healthy problem, stress, trauma, it runs through us, you know. The problem is like I said again, I'm gonna repeat this. We like to do the wrong thing the wrong way and at the wrong time. We love to do all of these things. We need to try to understand education so we can teach our children. We need to try to do everything so we can teach our children the proper way. There is no an easy way to explain this because most of majority of parents you always gonna keep saying this to your child. Let them do what they wanna do, you know. Let them make their own choice, especially when it comes to us black people. You cannot let your child to make decision about his own education. You have to push because we're bloody lazy. When I'm talking about lazy, lazy in studying. I'm talking about lazy in studying. We have a lot of young black that are going to university. But when they come out, where is all them degree when? Where is all them degree is going? Again, I'm gonna repeat this. We are a follower. We definitely are Stop being jacked out like a puppet. Stop being jacked out like a puppet. We need to stop that being a follow, being a puppet. The majority of white people, they mistreating us. They are very ignorant. That's what you need to know. They are very ignorant, but it don't mean it has to let us down. We don't have respect in the world because of Africa. Black people, we don't have respect in the world because of Africa. Chinese people, they go respect because China is respect around the world. Every Chinese people, whatever they're gonna go or be, they're gonna get respect because of China. But Africa, you can't. Any European person go to Africa or go to Asia, they will get respect. Do you know why? Because European is respect by everyone in the world, but except African. Africa is the most low continent in the world, especially when it comes to the blacks. Like I said, this is only for education purpose. I'm gonna be speaking about all of this topic. Again, is about education. You know, I'm gonna quote something from Marcus Aurelius Augusta. He was a Roman Empire, you know. He said something that I read in his book. It makes sense to me, you know. Number one, we need to understand God needs to be first in our lives, but education, it needs to start from home. Black parents, I'm gonna say again, your children, they are you. Create your children. You create yourself through your children. You can deny that much as you can. You create your children through your own image. They become lazy like you, disrespect just like you. They don't want to learn anything just like you. It breaks my heart when I see a black young female having 3 kids or 4 kids with so many different men. Can you see that? Education. Where's your education? It wasn't easy for our ancestor. It was not easy, but it don't mean we can't change. Like I said, we have a lot of trauma, mental health, stress. It run through black people. We hide that for what? Smoking, drinking, dancing, singing, sport. We wanna be in sport industry. We wanna be a musician, dancing, all that we wanna be. Except we're struggling to create smart people that can do great things for us, visionary, creatively, scientific people, lawyer, business people. You got carpenter, you got shoemaker, you got builder. All of that we're struggling to create in life. We're struggling to create our own system structure. There's no structure in black. Go in Africa. There's no structure at all. Any race that keep erasing his own past, trying to forget to understand his past, is a race that want to be enslaved again. Any race. Black people were so good at this. We're trying to erase apart so we can go under slavery again. We like to wanna call white people master, or we want to start calling Chinese people our master. And that's the sad part because you know what? We don't want to teach our children where we came from. You, as a black person, as a black parent, you have to teach your children. They need to understand where they came from. So this is only for education purpose. I know you guys don't know me, but we're gonna try to understand each other properly because I'm gonna be speaking through you parents, through you uh children, young black men, young black female. We're gonna try to understand each other. This is only for education purpose. I hope you yourself where you're sitting to trying to understand all of this, to analyze, trying to learn, analyze, anticipation your final hours in your life, trying to understand everything, learn from others' mistake, your mistake, trying to understand all of this. I'll catch you to the next one. Have a good day.